36 years after a woman disappeared, detectives in Guadalupe County still trying to solve the case. Now they're hoping to get help from the public. We've got the details this noon.
Some folks in Northeast Bexar County may be considering smoke detectors now. Katrina Weber explains why.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
And we start with late-breaking news this noon. Austin police say the two teenagers who were arrested after this month's mass shooting on 6th Street will not be facing charges. However, they are looking for another suspect, DeAndre Jamiris White. Police say after interviewing witnesses and analyzing the bullet shell casings, they linked the murder weapon to White.
APD also says that weapon was linked to other violent crimes. Officers say that they dropped the charges against the two teens so they can focus on finding and charging White. They are actively looking for him, but have not found him so far. Police say he's considered armed and dangerous. So if you see him, you're asked to call police. White is facing a murder charge after that mass shooting in Austin on June 12th.
New at noon, detectives in Guadalupe County are hoping to get a lead in a cold case more than 3 decades after a woman disappeared.
Now the Texas Department of Public Safety says it's increasing the reward for valuable information. Kathleen Laura Atwood Ramf disappeared back in 1985 in Guadalupe County. Her employer was the one who reported her missing. Detectives were able to find her car at a nightclub, but they found no signs of Ramf.
Based on their investigation, detectives say that she was likely killed. However, they have never found her body. Those with information about Ramf's disappearance are being encouraged to come forward now. You can call Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-252-TIPS. DPS also doubled the reward that they're offering for information that leads to an arrest. It's now up to $6,000.
A single bedroom is just about all that burned in an overnight house fire in Northeast Bexar County, but firefighters say it is just by luck that there was no loss of life because the home on Grinham Street near Montgomery Drive had no smoke detectors. As Katrina Weber reports, the fire itself was a wake-up call for the family.
Where there was lots of smoke, there also was fire inside this home in the 8300 block of Grinham. It broke out after 2 this morning as 3 people were in the middle of their night's sleep. Somehow one of them woke up just in time.
No smoke detectors and woke the other residents up. They evacuated the house, tried to use a garden hose to put the fire out.
The others called 911, and it wasn't long before Bexar County firefighters were on the scene.
When the crew went into here, they found that one of the bedrooms was fully involved. They were able to contain the majority of the fire to that bedroom.
They had to rely on other agencies, including Windcrest and Converse, for help, though. The heat of the fire combined with the hot, humid weather made doing the job a challenge. You can tell just by looking at this how intense the heat was here. As firefighters pointed out, it melted the siding right off the house. Firefighters who were feeling the effects of the heat were able to recover quickly. However, a man who lives in the home had to be taken to a hospital. While trying to beat back the flames with the hose, he cut his finger on a window. The investigation into the cause of the fire is now in the hands of the fire marshal's office. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A VIA employee recovering after getting hit by a bus that happened this morning in the VIA bus maintenance facility on North Flores Street, just north of downtown. According to SAPD, a worker was doing some maintenance on the bus and it was moving when he hit the other employee who was walking to his car after his shift. The bus driver said he didn't see the man, didn't realize he'd hit him until he saw him on the ground. Police say he only had a bump on his head, but still was taken to a hospital by ambulance. He's expected to be okay.
KSAT 12 has learned that CPS Energy's senior legal team lodged internal complaints against its president and CEO, Paula Gold Williams, in the weeks before the attorneys resigned from the utility. This is according to internal records obtained this week by the KSAT 12 defenders. CPS Energy did not release the contents of the complaints against Gold Williams, but said in a written statement the claims and counterclaims were related to February's winter storm and the financial issues now facing the utility. CPS Energy told KSAT 12 in a written statement that there are 2 sides to every story. However, they have not made Gold Williams available for an interview to give her side of the internal conflict.
Summer's just getting rolling, but this is also the time of the year to start planning for the next school year, especially if you're looking for something unique. Max Massey gives us an inside look at KSAT High School and how local families can get their students enrolled into this free public school program.
Just walking into the building, it's like you haven't seen a place like KSAT before.
Meet Elia, an incoming junior here at KSAT.
I chose KSAT because they will help me go into the medical field. They're preparing me for success.
KSAT was created to add the pipeline of much-needed doctors and researchers here in the San Antonio area.
It means an opportunity to participate with different doctors, nurses, pharmacies, even local regular doctors who have their own offices.
On top of the amazing teachers and learning environments, KSAT also offers early opportunities for internships and, of course, hands-on activities.
As a public school system, we were very blessed, and our students are very blessed, to have this type of technology here. This is actually a table, an instrument that we use in biology and in our Project Lead the Way bioscience courses, which actually allows students to study the human body.
And one of the unique opportunities for students here at KSAT, they each get to learn from the anatomage, customized Chromebooks, and of course, the smart boards.
We accept 150 students each year. Right now we are accepting applications. We accept any student throughout Bexar County. Any student who's interested, whether you're special ed, ESL, GT, or regular, if you're an incoming 9th grader, please consider our school. We are free of charge. We are a public school system.
As for Elia, she is already looking towards the future.
I want to be a trauma surgeon or an emergency room doctor.
If you have any questions about how to apply, we have all those answers. Just head to KSAT.com. Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says it's not getting enough volunteers to come and donate blood. It's working to build a 7-day supply, but so far only has 3-day supply for our community. That's why they are holding blood drives. This one coming in just a few minutes. It's happening at Holmes High School, which is near 410 and Ingram Road. The blood drive starts at 1 this afternoon and ends at 6 this evening. Donors are urged to make appointments by calling 210-731-5590. That number's there on your screen, or you can visit southtexasblood.org. And in honor of Fiesta, this month donors will get a 2021 Fiesta Medal from South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. You can find a list of more blood drives on the center's website.
And if you're trying to get around to Fiesta, Via offering its Fiesta Park and Ride service again this year. It's not quite what it was before. However, the service will run from the Crossroads Park and Ride and the Madla Transit Center near Zarzamora and I-35. It'll be dropping people off on Market Street at the Convention Center. Service starts tonight from 5 to 11. It runs through Friday. Masks are required on the buses. Tickets are $5 round trip. They can be purchased at ticket booths and at the Via Go mobile app.
And that Via Park and Ride service kicks off just in time for NIOSA. A night in Old San Antonio starts tonight, but the prep work is well underway as crews prepare for a lot of eager crowds. Of course, things are going to be a little different this year. There won't be any paper tickets sold. You can buy tickets online at niosa.org. There will only be 2 spots at La Villita where you can buy tickets on site. That's at the CPS entrance and the Hilton entrance. And it's a cashless system this year, so you'll need to get a Blast Pass wristband to buy food and drinks.
Wristband costs $1. You can load it with whatever amount of money you want to spend on it. And then you just purchase the things at the booth. They'll just scan it with a scanner and take it off.
Gates open at La Villita at 5:30 tonight. They close at 10. And remember, those who are fully vaccinated are not required to wear a mask. NIOSA asks that unvaccinated guests wear face coverings.
And of course, we've been missing out on Fiesta for nearly 2 years, so it is time to get your Fiesta fix. And here is what you can catch today. Fiesta de los Reyes is happening right now. You can attend the free event over at Market Square. Later on this afternoon, the Fiesta Tech Trek over on Houston Street. And then there's the Ford Mariachi Festival. That's taking place at 7:30 to 9:30 tonight. You can watch the student mariachis from high schools and local college mariachi programs performing tonight all along the Riverwalk. You can also take a look at today's event list. All you got to do is go to KSAT.com.
Our Becky Hammond's chances of becoming an NBA head coach got a little better.
Sweeping election reform still a topic of conversation in the Senate as they vote to debate a new bill supported by Democrats, while Republicans, though, are against this legislation. The Senate is poised to vote today on whether to begin debating a major voting rights bill.
As ABC's Elizabeth Schulte explains, Democrats are trying to unite behind the legislation while Republicans vow to block it.
A big vote for Democrats in their effort to enact the most expansive voting rights reform in decades.
Will our Republicans let us debate it? That's the only question on the table for the United States Senate.
The Senate is set to vote on whether to begin debate on a sweeping voting rights bill that would take steps like making voter registration automatic, expanding absentee and early voting, and reforming campaign finance. Republicans are vowing to block the legislation, saying it gives the federal government too much power over state elections.
The Senate will give this disastrous proposal no quarter.
The bill appears destined to fail without any Republican support. But the vote is proving to be a unity test for Democrats, who've made election reform and voting rights a key priority, as more than a dozen Republican-led state legislatures around the country have passed new laws adding restrictions on voting. Democrats and voting rights activists say the state laws are a deliberate effort to suppress turnout among voters of color.
No matter how many pieces of legislations you might unjustly pass, we're not going back.
During the Senate vote, all eyes will be on West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin. He says he doesn't support the current bill, but has offered a compromise that would mandate at least 15 days of early voting, require states to send absentee ballots to early voters, impose ID requirements, and recognize Election Day as a national holiday. In rare public comment on legislation, former President Barack Obama is giving his support to Manchin's bill, calling it a product of compromise.
If Republicans block this bill as expected, it'll likely reinvigorate calls to end the filibuster rule, which leads to the requirement of 60 votes for most legislation to pass in the Senate. Elizabeth Schulte, ABC News, Washington.
Let's get outside with the weekend. We were talking about Nyosa. Now, there's a lot of people down there for the parade last night, and it was a little warm.
Yeah, David, you had first-hand knowledge of how hot it was out there.
He was a visual explanation of how hot it was. I've never seen so many sweat stains in my life.
Yeah.
That's
Mrs.
good.
Sears got her laundry cut out for her.
Yes.
All right. Well, today the aquifer is actually down a foot over the past 24 hours, but overnight rains may actually help that aquifer go up from last night. So we'll continue to monitor that. Now, the rains yesterday did make the mold go up. Molds are moderate at 980. Coming up in the forecast, I'll show you which areas got some good rain, and we'll talk about how the heat is on for the next several days. Coming up.
My wife called and said, "You do your own laundry." No,
Drop it off at the cleaners. You know,
we can joke.
I have to say, though, it was a beautiful river parade.
It was.
And next year, weren't we saying Fiesta's going to be in March?
Like in March and April because of
So it
Easter.
could be actually cold next year. So
you know,
let's.
we get those March cold fronts every now and
That's
then.
right.
And, you know, the average last freeze is in March. So let's see. It could be a completely different story come Fiesta next year. But, you know, we were up a little late last night tracking some storms that moved through the hill country and the Edwards Plateau and eventually through southern Bexar County. We saw a good amount of rain through South San Antonio and southern Bexar County. So let's take a look at some of these rainfall totals. First, let's start up in the hill country and the Edwards Plateau. Del Rio, our weather watcher in Del Rio, Warren, he's told me yesterday, Sarah, please tell me we're going to get some rain. Well, they got just an inch and shy of 3/4 in Del Rio. Meanwhile, an inch of rain in Rock Springs, 3.5 in Barksdale, about an inch and a quarter at Kickapoo Caverns, and then more than half an inch in Fredericksburg, more than an inch in Kerrville, and more than an inch in Medina. As for San Antonio, notice how there was a big hole in the rainfall through northwestern San Antonio, through parts of Comal County and into Medina County. The airport only got 0.04 of an inch of rainfall. But southern Bexar County, Stinson, more than 1 3/4 inches, more than 1 inch in Floresville. The rain that fell in the hill country is going to fall in the contributing zone of the Edwards Aquifer, so we should see that rebound a little bit. But all that rain from a very weak cool front that moved through. It's 83 degrees outside. It didn't really knock out our humidity too much. Humidity is still in the low 70s, and so it feels like it's 88 degrees out there in spite of that 83. We're also starting to see a mix of sun and clouds out there, still mostly cloudy, but some breaks in the cloud cover out there. And a wider view, there is one shower that's pushing just to the to the west toward areas in Eagle Pass, so we could see a couple of spotty showers out there. There's that front. It's totally stalled near Laredo. And temperatures are not all that much cooler than they were this time yesterday, except for in the hill country where it's 74 still in Kerrville and 73 in Rock Springs. Still 86 in Del Rio and 90 in Cotulla. This front, it's going to switch on us and become a warm front and push up to the north, bringing us even more humid air and warmer conditions for the days to come. Through the evening hours, though, we could have an isolated shower or storm, 20% through about, I would say, 6 or 7 p.m. But once we lose that daytime heating, we'll have mostly clear skies. Then tomorrow, waking up at 75, very humid, mostly cloudy, and with an afternoon high temperature right around 93. So it's going to be a hot day tomorrow, too. 10% chance for a stray shower, but not everybody is going to see rain. In fact, most people will miss out on the rainfall. For the rest of the day today, 90 for the high temperature, east-northeast winds 5 to 10, and a quiet and mild evening. Then a big heat high is going to move right over Texas. Got to give a shout out to our intern, Caitlin. She helped me make this graphic. Big old heat high moving over. And so that means that we're going to continue with the heat until that moves away and opens a window Sunday and Monday for some isolated showers and storms. We're going to hope that isolated becomes a better chance for showers and storms by Sunday and Monday. But until then, dangerous heat index in the forecast once again by Thursday and Friday, where it could feel like 105 to 107 degrees. Yeah, we're in June. We're in June here, but at least we got a little bit of rain in some backyards last night to help to at least put a little bit of a damper on some of this heat that we're seeing out there.
Very refreshing for some. We're still waiting at my house. Thanks, Sarah.
Me too, Ursula.
Coming up in a few minutes, Coach Popovich has picked up a couple of top NBA players for his Olympic team and another night without Kawhi. Hey, talk about taking a big step. Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon going to get a second interview for the head coaching job in Portland. That's according to ESPN. They also report that the Clippers assistant Chauncey Billups will be getting a second interview with the Blazers. Becky is trying to become the first female head coach in the history of the NBA. And with 7 vacancies so far this offseason, her chances are increasing. She has already become the first full-time female assistant coach in NBA history, the first woman to lead an NBA team in the Summer League, and the first woman to take over as head coach in the regular season after Pop was ejected against the Lakers last year. Hammond is also up for the vacant head coaching position in Orlando. And the Spurs announcing they will participate in the Salt Lake City Summer League between August the 3rd and the 6th at the Vivint Smart Arena. This marks the return of the Summer League after the COVID-19 pandemic wiped out last year's participation, featuring a 4-team, 6-game format that will not only feature the Spurs, but the Memphis Grizzlies and 2 teams representing the Jazz. Each team will play 3 games as part of the daily doubleheaders starting on that Tuesday. Hey, Kevin Durant's season is over, but he went out with a bang. He made the NBA playoff history with 48 points in 53 minutes in the Nets' 115-111 overtime loss to the Milwaukee Bucks to end their season. But his NBA season is over. However, KD wants to keep playing this summer. According to The Athletic, Durant is going to suit up for Team USA this summer to compete in the delayed 2020 Tokyo Olympics. He is by far the biggest name that has emerged in Greg Popovich's first year of leading the U.S. men's basketball team. It'll also feature Devin Booker, who's committed to, even though he is still in the middle of trying to push the Suns to the NBA Finals. And KD's Nets teammate James Harden says he also wants to go for gold. Training camp begins on July 6th in Vegas before departing for Tokyo, where the games begin on July 23rd. Officials with the Tokyo Olympics will allow fans to attend the games that begin next month, but Organizers say they will limit capacity to 50% with a maximum of 10,000 local fans for all Olympic venues, and they must wear masks. The decision was announced following talks online with 5 parties, including local organizers, the International Olympic Committee, the International Paralympic Committee, the Japanese government, and the government of Tokyo. The decision contradicts the country's top medical advisor, though. He recommends that last week that the safest way to hold the Olympics would be without fans. And Kawhi Leonard is out with a knee injury, and there is no timetable for his return after missing Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. He'll miss Game 2 as well, since he did not travel with the team to Phoenix to remain in Los Angeles for the treatment. Leonard suffered the knee injury in Game 4 against the Utah Jazz and has been out since. This is believed to be a sprained anterior cruciate ligament this time around. In his absence, the Clippers lost their first playoff game without him. It was 120-114, so they are down 1-0. Game 2 is tonight at 8 o'clock.
Trouble in outer space, how a computer glitch is impacting the Hubble Space Telescope. That's coming up in the next half hour.
And we have the latest on the coronavirus emergency. The U.S. very close to reaching a crucial benchmark. However, low vaccination rates in some areas could threaten our progress.
New today at 5, looking to save some money on your cell phone bill? Today, find out how bundling your cell phone service with your cable provider can help you cut back on that expensive cell phone plan. A victory for college athletes after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against limiting certain perks for students who play sports. It was a unanimous decision, but it didn't go as far as some wanted. It does not allow college athletes to get paid for their participation in sports. ABC's Andrea Fujii has more from New York.
A win for college athletes who've long argued they should be compensated for their hard work.
This is really important to all student athletes, just because it hasn't, no legislation has done this for us.
On Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled against the NCAA's cap of $5,000 for education-related gifts and benefits beyond free room and board, paving the way for increased payments related to education for student athletes, including paid internships, postgraduate scholarships, tutoring, computers, study abroad, and musical instruments. In the 9-0 decision, the justices said the NCAA limits on educational-related compensation violate antitrust laws. The student-athlete plaintiffs argued they often generate hefty sums and notoriety for their schools. Division I NCAA athletics generated $10.6 billion in revenue in 2019.
We knew everyone was making money, so it was about time that somebody and something move that needle a little bit forward.
The NCAA argued that athletes' amateur status is a key part of the appeal of college sports. But Justice Brett Kavanaugh disagreed, writing, all of the restaurants in a region cannot come together to cut cooks' wages on the theory that customers prefer to eat food from low-paid cooks.
It opens the door for further challenges to the NCAA's compensation practices. It knocks out the NCAA's defense.
The NCAA responded, saying the decision reaffirms the NCAA's authority to adopt reasonable rules and repeatedly notes that the NCAA remains free to articulate what are and are not truly educational benefits.
The decision did not go so far as to address whether student athletes can be paid a salary or be compensated for the use of their name and image. The NCAA says it's committed to supporting the push for those benefits. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Now to the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. is reaching positive COVID milestones.
That's right. More states are reporting 0 deaths from COVID, and case numbers are down as well. In fact, we're seeing the lowest daily average since March of 2020 at about 11,400 cases. And that is close to Dr. Fauci's benchmark. He wanted us to average less than 10,000 new cases a day. However, vaccinations across the country are stalled out, and that is fueling concern over the Delta variant of the coronavirus. The variant could fuel pockets of outbreaks in states that have low vaccination rates.
We know that masking can start to go away if you're vaccinated and you can start to gather. But unfortunately, those that are unvaccinated are following some of those same behaviors. And because of that, we will have unmitigated spread of the Delta variant in those populations.
Meanwhile, new CDC data shows that vaccination rates are specifically stalling among young people. Only 38% of people ages 18 to 29 have gotten the vaccine. According to CDC data, the biggest reason why people aren't getting the vaccines, the lack of trust in them, concerns about side effects, or the belief that they just don't need one.
And CDC experts are set to meet tomorrow to talk about reports of a heart ailment linked to coronavirus vaccines in youth and young adults. The panel of advisors in the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, the committee will hear about reports of 300 plus cases of heart inflammation in youth and young adults who were recently vaccinated. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the reports involve the mRNA types of vaccines made by Pfizer and Moderna. Doctors who have treated such inflammation cases say they were easy to treat and most patients recovered. The panel will look at the risk level of the linked reports and whether the risks outweigh the benefits of vaccination.
Taking a look outside with live cam, it was feast or famine overnight. You got a lot of rain, you got no rain.
Yeah,
where did you fall?
That's a good way.
And I guess there was some flooding in some cases, too much rain.
Some minor flooding in some areas. How did you guys fare? David, did you see any rain?
I was asleep.
Yeah. Probably not.
I heard the thunder. Does that count?
Well, for if you're waking up, it counts. But unfortunately, I think Ursula and I were talking. She didn't see much rain either from this storm system last night. But southern Bexar County did, and parts of the hill country did as well. Outside right now, temperatures are in the 80s, 83 at the airport, 87 at JBSA Randolph, 87 at Stetson, 81 at JBSA Randolph, 82 in New Braunfels, still in the 70s, though, up in Comfort and Kerrville, not too comfortable, though, up in Comfort with high heat index values. Winds are from the north, actually. A north-northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And you would think that with a northerly breeze, we'd be able to enjoy some lower humidity, but that's just not the case. Dew points are in the 70s still, which is oppressively humid. You can still feel all of that humidity out there, and it is giving us a bit of a heat index value out there today. But at least temperatures are not as high as they were yesterday, and so that's what's been the big factor. Looking at radar right now, just a few lingering showers out there, mainly out to the west. We'll go ahead and focus in on a small shower that may make it to Crystal City and Highway 83, but it's likely to fall apart. Then in northern Kenny County, we've got some showers pushing into Valverde County as well. Other than that, though, it is quiet out there. But coming up, I've got a look at how this rain benefited either the aquifer and how it impacted the pollen count in just a few minutes. David and Ursula.
Thank you, Sarah. Reports of the planet Venus's death may have been premature. New research from NASA shows that the second planet from the sun might still be geologically active. We have details still ahead.
And one intern's mistake goes viral, attracting the attention of some former interns. Now those people are confessing to some big blunders of their own. We've got a look later on in the show.
A new streaming device is going to offer up Spanish language content. In fact, the company behind it says it'll have more Spanish language originals than any other streaming service. When it's expected to launch after the break.
Hello everyone, this is Daily Tech and Business Briefing from Cheddar News. Jay-Z has 99 problems and an NFT now one of them. Is record label Rockefeller Records suing one of their co-founders, Damon Dash, for trying to sell an NFT of Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. The lawsuit claims Dash partnered with platform Superfarm to auction the NFT, granting the winner rights to all future revenue generated by the album. Rockefeller claiming that it's not Dash's to sell, as he is the only minority shareholder in the record label. Meanwhile, TikTok is announcing a new feature that will allow users to embed mini apps into their videos. Users can now pull up links to other apps using the new feature, which is called Jumps. The company has already been testing out Jumps on the app and has teamed with companies like Whisk, Wikipedia, and TableLog. And Univision launching a new Spanish language streaming service in 2022. The platform will feature free and paid tiers and will focus on premium originals. Univision says the new service will have a vast content scope, expansive library, and more Spanish language originals than any other streaming service. And that's your Cheddar News Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
There's a problem with Hubble's payload computer, and it's keeping us from getting a view from the Space Telescope on Hubble. Viewing capabilities have been down since Sunday. NASA started working on the problem on Monday, and according to the space agency, experts believe the issue could be a bad memory board. Hubble is more than 3 decades old. It was deployed all the way back in April of 1990.
The planet Venus may still be active after NASA said it was geologically dead. This comes after new findings from the agency. Scientists took a new look at radar images of Venus's surface from the 1990s, and it appears they found proof of tectonic motion. They say it looks like crust blocks on the surface of Venus moved alongside each other like chunks of pack ice. Those are the big pieces of floating ice seen in places like the waters that surround Antarctica. Scientists say this discovery about Venus could help them study exoplanets outside of our solar system.
Ready for a Venus fact?
Okay.
Venus's atmosphere is heavy in carbon dioxide, and so it is the hottest planet in our solar system.
So it was hot as Venus yesterday.
That's a good point.
At the river parade.
For David, it felt like it was hot as Venus. That's true.
It's a new way to say it.
There you go. The aquifer is down a foot over the past 24 hours, but it's not all bad news. A lot of rain from last night fell along the the contributing zones of the Edwards Aquifer, so we may actually see that number go up in the days to come. Meanwhile, around San Antonio, only 0.04 of an inch of rain at the airport, but Stinson got more than 1 3/4 inches. So definitely those who had and had not the rain yesterday. Unfortunately, though, for all of us, it has made the mold count go up. Molds are moderate at 980. Hey, coming up, we'll take a check at the tropics and, of course, a look at the hot weather ahead after the break.
This day in Fiesta history is powered by your local San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
So is it NIOSA or NEOSA?
It doesn't matter. We don't care. Just come and have fun.
Whatever you call it, a night in Old San Antonio is an important part of Fiesta history. Created by the San Antonio Conservation Society, it's become the largest historic preservation festival in the nation.
Well, we started way back in 1936 when we were a fall Indian harvest festival at San Jose Mission.
Styled after early Fiesta celebrations, this fall festival eventually moved to La Villita, but it didn't become a Fiesta event until the city asked in 1946. Then, after many years and many names, it happened.
In 1948, we became officially known as the Night in Old San Antonio.
About 85,000 visitors attend, and they eat a lot. I mean, we're talking 17,000 pounds of beef and 11,000 pounds of chicken.
On average, we've contributed about $1.6 million annually, and that goes towards the Society's mission of historic preservation.
Preserving our history with a few beers and chicken on a stick? Now that's what I call a party. Adam Caskey, KSAT 12 News.
Well, for folks heading to NIOSA, you know it's going to be toasty out there. 83 degrees for the temperature out there right now, but it feels like 88 because of a high dew point. And we are starting to see these clouds break up a little bit. You know, this morning we started off overcast, even some rain in some areas, especially south of Highway 90. But these clouds are breaking up, and so we're going to be able to get up to 90 degrees, I believe, today here in San Antonio, if not even a little bit warmer than that. But it's still fairly cloudy out in Kerrville and in Fredericksburg in the Hill Country. Kerrville, Fredericksburg got more than 1 inch of rain in the overnight hours. And speaking of Kerrville and Fredericksburg, still in the 70s there because of the cloud cover. 85 in Uvalde, 86 in Carrizo Springs, already 90 in Cotulla, 86 in Gonzales. And in spite of a northerly wind from yesterday's cool front, we are still very humid. Not quite as humid as yesterday, but noticeably humid with dew points in the 70s, even a dew point of 76 in Pleasanton. Yeah, that is very humid. And so that's why we do have heat index values. It feels like it's 96 in Pleasanton right now, and it feels like it's 99 in Cotulla. So even though we are not going to reach the mid-90s today, it's still going to feel like the mid-90s in San Antonio because of the higher humidity. So for the rest of the day, 88 at 2, 5 p.m., the heat high of the day is going to be 90. And then, by the way, we do have a 20% chance for a pop-up shower or even a thunder shower through the afternoon hours. But as the sun sets, we'll see our rain chances turn off, and we'll have east winds at 5 to 10, mostly clear skies and a warm evening, still 81 degrees at 10 p.m. Tomorrow is going to be even warmer. We'll wake up at 75 degrees tomorrow morning with morning clouds. It's going to be even more humid tomorrow as a warm front lifts to the north. At around noon, 86 degrees, and in the afternoon, 93 for the high, but feeling like 100 because of the high humidity. South-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And once again, another mild evening tomorrow at 83. Okay, I know you want the news that we're going to see more rain or cooler weather. Unfortunately, I just got to give the news as I see it. And heat high is in our forecast over the next couple of days. Ridge of high pressure settling over Texas through Thursday and Friday. And that means we're going to stay hot and humid because even though the heat high is going to be overhead, we're still going to have that southeasterly flow from the Gulf of Mexico. That'll move over by Sunday and Monday, and that'll open up a window of rainfall for us. Now, right now it looks isolated on Sunday and Monday, but the chance for rain is there. Speaking of that heat high, this is what it's going to feel like by Thursday and Friday, 105 degrees, so dangerous heat is in the forecast as well. The threshold for heat advisory is about 105, feeling like 105, so we'll have to see if that ends up having a heat advisory for us on Thursday and Friday. Remnants of Claudette moving out into the Atlantic, and then we're also focusing on the Caribbean right now, where there is an area that has a 30% chance to develop into a tropical depression over the next 5 days, but it's got a lot of real estate to work through, and so we don't really have any idea exactly where this would go if it develops, but we'll keep you informed on the tropics. Atlantic hurricane season lasts all the way through November, so we've got a long time to keep an eye on the Atlantic. Look at those temperatures warming up to 97 by Friday. The weekend will be hot and humid with that small chance for rain on Sunday and Monday.
All right, Sarah, thank you.
An intern's mistake sparks confessions from some former interns, including some well-known names. The mess-ups people are coming clean about, coming up after the break.
A small blooper by an HBO Max intern has now inspired a show of support from former interns who just could not resist confessing to their own embarrassing mistakes.
And even the most famous former intern of them all joined in. CNN's Jeannie Mose has it for us.
When this empty test email got sent out to subscribers at HBO Max, CNN's corporate cousin, HBO apologized, saying, yes, it was the intern. No, really, and we're helping them through it. But it wasn't the oops intern email that had folks laughing. It was the Dear Intern responses, including one from the most famous former intern of them all.
I put it behind me.
You have put it behind
I have put it behind me.
From Monica Lewinsky to someone who claimed, I once globally took down Spotify, everyone tried to give the HBO Max newbie a viral hug by suggesting, Dear Intern, it could have been worse. Calling this false alarm.
Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill.
Others sheltered the Dear Intern by admitting, I once tweeted the word impotent instead of impetus from the White House Twitter account. Confessed someone else, at least you didn't spin a studio camera 360 degrees while on live TV. Didn't get fired, and I've made my way to weekend anchor. And then there was this tweet, Dear Intern, at Nike, I once received an email asking for wear testers for a new sports bra.
Put it on and forget about it.
And I accidentally replied all to hundreds of my colleagues with my bra size. At least one corporate account relished the topic.
It was the Wienermobile, and I wanted one.
Tweeted Oscar Mayer, one time we forgot where we parked the Wienermobile, so we got your back. Monica Lewinsky commiserated, Dear Intern, it gets better. P.S. Don't wear a beret for a while, okay? But don't blundering interns everywhere deserve a tip of the hat? Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
We've never had any interns at this place make mistakes, have we?
We have brilliant interns.
I was an
Sitting
intern.
right over there, so we have to say that.
Yeah, she's over there.
Caitlin.
Yeah. She made that heat high a while ago. It was pretty good.
Yeah, she
So
made
see,
a
there you
graphic
go.
for this show, in fact.
Their interns are always on top of things down there.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And it is Fiesta de los Reyes happening here at Market Square. And you know, it's just not Fiesta without, you know, some certain Fiesta food, right?
Like chicken on a stick, and this is no ordinary chicken on a stick because this gentleman, Gino Vidal from Mucho Tejano, is going to make it extra special. What are we mixing up for our chicken on the stick here, sir?
Well, basically, you have a mixture of hot Cheeto limon, Oaxaca cheese, and panko breadcrumbing to kind of create a nice crusty texture to the chicken.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
no.
going to start
Oh, yeah,
the
go ahead.
process here.
Let's get that chicken.
So you're putting the
Going.
brine chicken into the flour dredge, a little
Yes,
egg
sir.
wash, and then get that nice and crusty there.
All
Don't be
right.
afraid to
Coating
cover
on
it
there
all.
like
yeah.
that. Okay, and then it goes into hot oil, and hopefully a little bit later on, this is going to be a delicacy. And we see some of the other things they have.
All right. And if you feel that, if you want some dessert, Lauren Garcia from Commando Bakery is here with some really delicate, light, tasty treats.
So you said after a night of fiesta and partying
Yes.
and everything else, this is the perfect dessert, right?
Perfect dessert, light on the palate, some fresh fruit. So have your beer, have your chicken on stick, because I've eaten that chicken on stick already.
Oh, really?
It's amazing, yes I have. Have it Saturday night. This will be a good way to just end your night, because you got to have something sweet.
And we'll tell you how you can pick up some of these as well.
All right, and if you feel the need for speed, we're going to tell you about a great place to go for some family fun with some of the fastest cars in the area.
When I Say Live continues.